that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on.
We want to make our lives easier by making your lives easier to show you the results you're looking for, and that's what you should be looking for in a program, very specific results.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Tadia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Tadia.
Welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in, for being a part of our True Form Life community. We're coming at you with a brand new show. We appreciate whether you're listening on terrestrial radio across the country or as a podcast around the world. We certainly wouldn't be here without you. So stick around. We got all that coming up.
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Tadia.
Good morning, everyone. I am excited to jump on here and share some details with you about our topic. Our topic is how to see amazing results, specifically for busy moms, in 90 days or less without spending hours in the gym. This is a hot topic that we've been talking about for a number of months now. I think we're around like 5 months since we started our MAT program, and there's been a lot of people asking questions about what are you doing to see such incredible results. So I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to see incredible results. And I'll tell you our process. I'll tell you, I'm going to open everything wide up and tell you exactly what we do, and maybe that will help you replicate that in another area. So here we go. Here's the thing is that a lot of times we've never tried a complete program, and that's what I'm going to explain to you, because if you want to see maximum results, you need a complete program. And the biggest challenge here is that most people haven't tried one because it's not like, how do I say, it's not the norm, or it's not that abundant. For example, like most people hear about the gym, like, oh, I should join the gym, right? Like that's just a small, very small piece. And I'll even tell you why that's probably not the answer, or why it hasn't been working for you. But you need the full picture. And the problem here is that most people don't have anything to compare that to. They're like, what's a coach? What's a program? I'm not sure. Maybe we need to do a bit, like those of us in this space need to do a better job of marketing. But then at the same time, you have to understand, like, there's a very low entry level. So most people don't invest in their health because there's so much free, right? Like free YouTube videos, free blog posts, free challenges online. Most people don't invest because they don't appreciate the value of paid programs. And that's something challenging for us to get around, because there's so much difference when you invest and when you have a whole program in front of you. We need to start investing in ourselves and investing in a program, and it needs to be a complete program. And I'll explain why in a second. But here's the very first thing that we found success in is that you have, like, you've actually signed up, and I'm not talking about like specifically our program. Our program is not for everyone, and we don't want it to be for everyone, because if you try to serve everyone, you serve no one. We have a very specific niche. So as I go through these steps, you should find what fits for you. Like we work with, in most cases, we work very specifically with busy moms. So that means our whole program is designed for people that are short on time, usually women that have kids, and often in the menopausal state as well. So that means our conversations are different. Like, how do we design workouts that are more efficient? That's different than a bodybuilder program, right? They want to spend 2.5 hours in the gym. Very different program, very different terminology, language, different results. Like, we're not going to stand there and tell you to do an hour and a half of bicep curls. It doesn't make any sense. So you need to find a program that is very specific to you for your needs and wants. Our meals are short and simple ingredients. If you want the best tasting food in the entire world that costs you time to make and more money, that's fine, but that's a different program. We teach meal prep and meal planning, simple groceries, simple ingredients, because of our specific demographic. And I think that that's a good place to start off, because that's where most people struggle with, is they're like, oh, I've tried that program, it didn't work for me. Like, what kind of program was it? Like, often people say keto. Okay, was there any workouts with it? No. Was there any second phase after you saw your results? No. Was it mostly packaged foods? Probably. Okay, so is that built for sustainability? Is that built for a certain individual? Like, are you looking to live that lifestyle? And if you're not, you've joined the wrong program. And that's why we have a bit of an application process. So if you're looking at a program and someone's like, they'll tell you anything you want to hear, all they want to do is sign you up as quick as possible, that's a red flag. They're probably acting out of desperation and they need you to sign up because they just want a sale. That's very different for us, we work from a place of abundance. We turn more people away than come in because we want a very specific group of people that we like to work with, that are excited and happy about the program, and are excited to get started with the program because we want them happy. And if they're not happy, they're not going to make our lives very happy because they're going to be complaining the whole time, not seeing the results they're looking for. Meanwhile, this program isn't for you and your husband. It's for you. It's not for someone that wants to deadlift 350 pounds. You're not going to be happy with the program. So we want to make our lives easier by making your lives easier to show you the results you're looking for. And that's what you should be looking for in a program, very specific results. From there, you need to make a clear decision. Like, it's a decision. That's why we jump on a call with everyone, so we can help explain the process. And you should have someone that can walk you step by step through a program and help you decide if that's going to work for you. And again, I'm telling you how we've seen such incredible results. This is, I think, 5 months in, and we're almost at we're over 300 pounds as a group, which is incredible. We average more weight loss in the first week or two than most programs average in their entire program. And I'm telling you exactly why. So don't miss out on a step. When you're looking for something that's specific for you, each one of these steps matter. So you need to have someone that's going to be there with you to help you make the right decision. And if you have a conversation and you don't feel right, then you should be able to back out. I really dislike hard sales calls. I don't want to do anything to do with it. I help people make a decision. If it seems like the right fit, then I would help encourage and say, let's do this. And if they're like, have too many complaints, too many objections, not really interested, probably not going to jump in with 2 feet, then I'm like, you know what? Let's wait. It's probably best for you to wait and come back when it's a better decision for you. From there, we have an agreement, right? And it's not like one of those contracts where like, we're going to bill you for the rest of your life, or, you know, like, have you guys seen that Friends episode where Ross is like, I want to quit the gym? And then I think he brings Chandler and then Chandler ends up signing up. So that's not what we're about. We have an agreement because we want to be very clear of what you get, what you can expect of us, and what we expect of you. That's it. And here's the thing, is that most people don't make a clear decision. Most people are like, and you see that in all walks of life. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do tonight? I don't know. We have a very challenging time making a decision. So for us, it's like, you need to make a very clear decision of what you're going to do. Are you jumping in with 2 feet? Are you going to do this, or you're not? So that's why we have a written agreement that says, yes, I'm doing this. And it's not like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I think I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And that's a major problem, especially when it comes to fitness and nutrition. It's like, I am going to make this decision, but not going to tell anyone. I'm going to start this challenge of doing YouTube videos every day, but not tell anyone. And as soon as any disruption in my life comes up, I'm not going to follow through with anything. No one's going to know anything about it anyway. So what's the difference, right? That's very different from what we're talking about. And again, why most people struggle with trying to figure it out on their own and working with a specific coach and program to carry on and see results. So you make a clear decision. This is what I'm going to do. And then from there, from there it comes to the deliverables, right? Like when we have a conversation, like pre-application talk, it's like, what are you able to do with your, like, what are you willing to commit to? So we suggest a minimum of 3 workouts a week. That's how you see results. Anything less than that is maintenance stage, or it's you're not going to see the results you're looking for. So if someone comes to us and I say, are you willing to work out 3 times a week? And they say, nah, I'll probably work out 2, twice a week, maybe 3. And I say, you know what? You're not going to be happy with this program. Truthfully, they're not going to be happy with any program. And because we need you to have at least 3 workouts a week, and then we build from there. You don't build from 1 or 2 workouts a week. You have to jump in with 3 workouts a week. And here's the thing, is that some people are like, oh, I didn't get time to work out, or I got busy. Like, that's a lie. And I know those are hard words that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear, but the truth is that we've been lied to. And so over 10,000 hours in a week, right? We're asking you to work out 30 minutes 3 times. That's 90 minutes in a week out of over 10,000. So whatever your belief system is needs to be changed, that you don't have time. You don't have 90 minutes in a week. And that, if you look at elite athletes, Olympic athletes, professional athletes, collegiate athletes, if you look at the fittest person you know, someone that regularly works out, they have a different belief system. They have a better vision of reality, that there is time in the day to get their workouts in on a consistent basis. So that's something that you need to wrap your head around before you join any program. And the problem is that sometimes people are like, oh, I think I can work out 3 times a week. I'm not really sure. Like, that's not a clear commitment. You need to be willing to commit to at least 3 workouts a week. And again, that is not a long time. That's a very short amount of time. We've been fooled, or we fooled ourselves to believe that 3 workouts or 90 minutes a week or 30 minutes 3 times a week is too much. It's a false belief system, and that needs to change for you to see the results you're looking for. And to be truthful, 3 is a minimum. 90 is a minimum, which is nothing. What percentage is that? Can someone help with that? Like, what percentage is 90 out of 10,000 and how many minutes in a week? Someone Google that. 10,080 in a week. Like, that is a false belief system that needs to be changed, and it can be changed. That's the good news. And once you start to develop healthy habits and positive routines, you will be able to make that change. But before you start, you have to be willing to do that. Like, those programs that are just nutrition, they only give you a small piece of the full picture. And then you have those programs that are just fitness and very little nutrition. They don't give you the full picture. You need all the pieces to the pie to get the whole pie. And we want the whole thing, right? Most people want all the results. Like, we want all the results possible, but we don't want to put all the pieces together and do all the work it takes to get the whole pie. We're like, well, why am I only getting a tiny slice? Because you haven't put the whole pie together. And that leads me to another point, is that the program that you're looking at should have all the pieces that you need for success. You need a nutrition aspect, you need a fitness aspect, and you need an accountability aspect. Those are 3 pillars, and those are non-negotiables. You need every one of them. And here, I'll tell you, every once in a while I'll talk to someone and they'll say they only want a part of it. They're like, oh, I'm pretty good with nutrition, I just want fitness. And then I look at their nutrition and I'm like, whoa, your nutrition isn't going to match up with your fitness. You're not going to see the results. And they're like, oh, but I'm pretty sure my nutrition is good. And I'm like, compared to what? Or who's telling you it's good? Because often we tell ourselves in our own mindset is like, because we can justify anything, right? You need someone else to look in and someone else to be like, not really sure. You know, like when I'm pushing your comfort zone right now by telling you have to work out 3 times a week. I'm telling you that you have to invest. Like, you have to be willing to invest. And I think I might have missed that step, but you have to be willing to invest. And there's people out there like, nah, I don't want to. That's fine, but you probably don't want the results that you think you do. So if we could take a step back and we look at probably a conversation first to see what you want, to see if we can help, and you look at this for any business that you want. Is this something that you want? Yeah, okay, I think we can help out with that. What exactly are the details you want? And some people, for us, they don't want to have that conversation. They're like, what's the price? And I'm like, the price of what? You know, the price of your program. Like, well, you don't even know what's involved in the program, so what's the price going to offer you? It's going to offer nothing. It's an arbitrary number. I can make up any type of number. And if you think in your mind that your health is worth whatever number you make up, they'll sign up without even knowing what it is. Like, you don't even know if the program works for you or if it's specific for you, right? So it doesn't make any sense for me to answer with a number. We have to answer with a conversation. And some people are like, I don't want to have a conversation. Just tell me the price. Like, well, then this isn't for you, because you're probably not going to be committed enough to see results. You're not going to be happy with me, and you're going to make my life a nightmare, complaining about the things that you signed up for that you didn't know that you're going to have to do. Right. So we have to have a conversation, and then from there we have an agreement, and then from there we have an investment. And here's the thing, is that we've done tons of free stuff. We've done free workshops in the park. We've done challenges by donation. We've done food donation stuff. And the lower we've had our prices, all the way down to free, the less people show up. Because there's no financial investment, which means there's no emotional investment. That's why when you sign up to the gym for $22 a month, you hardly know that that's coming out of your account. And you're like, meh, it's only $22. I'm not really going to put the time in, or whatever, $49, $89, whatever that is. It's usually a small amount. So the more you invest, the more financially you invest, the more emotionally you're invested. And that's how you see more results. And I know that's stretching comfort zones. And I know that's why I'm talking about is that for fitness in general, most is free. And then the lower levels are very low. Like, I don't know what Planet Fitness, I don't know if we have them in Canada, but Planet Fitness is almost nothing. It's almost free. It's like $10 a month or $20 a month or whatever, right? And then you can get into other gym facilities, and people, they don't want to pay that because there's so much free. But if you were to flip that upside down and understand that very few people see the results they want by investing in the very low level, that's why it doesn't work. If you were to flip that on its head, the more you pay attention. And that's all there is to it. And I put up a post about free isn't a friend of mine. Like, anytime I've received something free, I didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't know I had it. I lost it, didn't read it, didn't use it. But if you're to invest more in something, you're obviously going to use it. So there's more value in it. You're going to get more out of it. You're going to get benefits out of it. So you got to have a clear investment, right? And then I moved on to deliverables from there, right? So it's the pieces of the puzzle, right, that everyone's trying to piece together because we want to save money. You're really not saving anything. So here's the thing, you either value your money more or you value your time more. So if you value your money more, you keep your money and you're willing to spend years figuring out whatever it is. Right? If you want to be a better accountant, you take courses to learn about numbers, right? That will get you there quicker, or you try to figure it out on your own, which may take 20 years. We work with people that they have spent 20 years trying to figure it out on their own, and then we show them a proven system, and in 90 days, right? That's 3 months, they see incredible results. Think about that for a second. 20 years on your own, 90 days to show you results. The problem with that is that often people don't realize all the steps that we've added. Like, all these steps were there for a purpose to show you results, and those need to be continually repeated. So as soon as you're like, oh, okay, I got results, I'm gonna go figure the rest of it out on my own, that's when we start backtracking and losing the results that we've found. And I feel like it's such a struggle right now, trying to help people understand that there's a proven step-by-step process that you got your results, and as soon as you start to eliminate those different steps that have brought you your results, you end up right back where you started. So you have to understand that in most cases it's long term, and like you need a long term commitment to see long term results. And we live in such a quick fix society that most people don't really want to invest long term. They're like, what's the shortest amount possible? So when we started, our program was 6 weeks, and then we realized that most of those people were tire kickers. To be honest with you, like, they only really wanted to dabble, didn't really want sustainable results. We saw really good results, but they weren't able to keep it because they're like, oh, 6 weeks. Join 6 weeks and out, because that was their mind frame. We moved our original program to 90 days. That's why I'm telling you guys, you can see incredible results in 90 days. And that can carry on if you want it to. But if your mind frame is like, okay, I only got to do this for 90 days, I can do that. You'll see results for 90 days, and then what happens? You've already put a stop line in your mind mentally, and you're like, okay, 90 days, I'm done. And then you're going to go back to all the things that you were doing that gave you no energy, increased body weight, mood, emotions, whatever it is, digestion that you were struggling with. As soon as you stop all the things that you're doing, you go back to where you were. So we're considering moving our program. That's just our program, right? Don't worry about us. You could go find another short-term program if you want, which seems to be what the norm is. But for us, we don't want to be a yo-yo program where people jump on and off. So we're looking at a minimum of 6 months for our program moving forward. That's not where it is now, but that's definitely on our mindset, because I feel like we're different. Like, we don't just want your money, or we don't just want to help you short term or show you short term results. We want to change your life forever. We want to give you a sustainable step-by-step result, so when you're done working with us, you're ready to go off on your own. You keep all your results forever. And I really feel like that's different than the norm or the industry. Like, a lot of times they're like, oh, we'll show you how to drop weight. Just drink a couple shakes a day and eat this packaged food. Well, of course you're going to drop a lot of weight. You're calorie depleting. It's the same thing if you look at most of those fasting stuff. I could tell you to eat a quarter of your calories and you'll lose a bunch of weight, right? And you're going to be miserable and you're going to be moody, probably not going to sleep. You likely have chronic pain, but you lose a bunch of weight, right? And then you're going to go back to your regular lifestyle and you'll gain it all back. So for us, we want to offer sustainable results so you can see your results forever. And I think that that's really difficult for people to understand, because very few programs offer that or want that. They're like, what do you mean? I just have to join this for short term, see results, and then be gone, right? That's not how it works. We have two phases. We have your weight loss phase where we get you to your goal weight, and sometimes that takes longer for people, and sometimes it takes shorter. But we get you to your goal weight, and then we put you in the maintenance phase of the program, and you're able to keep those results. That's where the sustainability comes in. But you have to be willing to stick with the program long enough to make that happen. If you have that short-term mindset of, oh, this is it, that's all I have to do, and then go back to what you were doing, then you go back to the results you're hoping for. And then we have to look at, I talked about nutrition a bit, I talked about fitness. Then you have to look at, not just fitness, then you have to look at nutrition, right? So we say, are you willing to follow a meal plan? That's one of our questions. And that's something that you should consider, because some people aren't ready for a meal plan. Some people aren't interested in the meal plan. And why I talk about a meal plan is so valuable is because you have to have a meal plan. It is not negotiable. It's the same thing as working out. If you're not going to work out, the program's not going to work for you. If you're not going to have a meal plan, the program's not going to work for you, and you need a meal plan. It doesn't matter if you're working with us, with another business or another coaching team. If you're not willing to follow a meal plan, then you're not going to see the results you're looking for. You're not going to be happy with the program. So when we start talking with people, we say, "Are you willing to follow a meal plan?" And then that's when people say, "Oh, I only want fitness," or they're like, "I don't think I want a meal plan. I want to keep doing what I want to do." Then I say, "Okay, that's great, but this program isn't for you, because we can show you in a step-by-step process the exact results that you want if you're willing to do the steps." And then before they even sign up, the people are saying like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want that. So we say, okay, great. I understand, but this isn't for you. And that's why I say like ours is very specific to specific individuals' wants, needs, and goals. And that's why other programs are like, okay, whatever you want, just sign up and we'll figure out the rest. That's why so many people are unhappy with their programs that they sign up for, because it's not what they wanted. And for you to understand, like we save our clients an average of $200 a month, from grocery lists to meal planning, not buying the junk you shouldn't be buying. You're saving money there. You're not buying food that's going to go bad, because everything you buy, you're going to use, right? Like we have a step-by-step process, and we're super fortunate. Dorothy makes incredible meal plans. So what we do is different than everyone. So understand that. So I went to this conference. We had 100 different fitness professionals. They all did something different, like slightly different. You have your similar deliverables that I mentioned earlier, but everyone coaches, trains, mindsets. It's all different, I'm telling you. And it's so interesting for me to hear people say, "Oh, I've tried everything, nothing works." And I'm like, that's a very limiting mindset to believe that nothing works when there's thousands of programs out there. The problem is that you've probably haven't tried enough to find what you've been looking for. You haven't invested enough. For me, the biggest one is a consistency. That's what I think when someone's like, "Oh, I've tried everything," and I'm like, "Have you tried consistency?" Because consistency wins out across the board. Most people will try something for 6 weeks or 21 days. Right? Most people won't try something for a year. Give something a year, like whatever you're going to try it for, unless it's terribly unhealthy. And then like those shake diets, those packaged foods diets, like I probably wouldn't recommend that for a year. And that's the problem, right? Like you don't feel great on it. Like you don't feel great doing a program, so you have to get off it. I don't know. I was talking to someone in the past, and they were doing some type of like packaged foods. I don't know who does it, like Jenny Craig or Ideal Protein. Like I don't know specifically, but a lot of people come to us that have tried those like yo-yo types of diets, and they're like, "I was just so tired of eating packaged foods." And I was like, "No kidding. Like who wouldn't?" That's like going to a restaurant. Like I get tired of going to a restaurant, like if we're traveling on the road, and it's not often. Like we drove back from LA and we took 3 or 4 days, and we packed a lot of our food. We had snacks, we had protein shakes, but we still ate out. And I think we ate out maybe probably once a day for 3 straight days. And I was so tired of eating. I was like, I don't want to eat any more restaurant food. I just want to eat our food. But everyone has a different temperature, right? Or a different level. Some people eat out 3 times a week, every day, all the time. And that's something worth mentioning or worth paying attention to, because eating out is more expensive than making your own food. And people are like, "Well, I don't have time." Well, that's why we work with busy moms who don't have time. So we show you how to make simple meals in a short amount of time, which includes meal prep and batch cooking. So you're saving time, right? But the problem is we have to look at what we want, what we're willing to invest in, including time. So if someone says, "Oh, I don't really know if I really have time for a program," I said, "Well, we can show you how to shorten that up and how to save time. But you still have to put in the time and effort, right? Like you still have to go buy groceries." So if you're used to buying, and that's interesting, right? Like I've had people write in and say, "You know what? I'm not sure if I'm willing to invest that right now." They leave. And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. Like, no hard sales. Like, go off, do your own thing. Let me know when you're ready." They come back and they're like, "You know what? I looked at my finances. I looked at all the things I was buying on Amazon. I looked at someone else. I looked at all the HelloFresh meals. Someone else. I looked at all the fast food and all the convenience store purchases. And I've been spending this chunk of money, which is more than you're asking for. So I want to join your program. And I'm like, great, let's do it. But that's something that we don't want to put in that time and effort to figure out, because it's easier, right? It's easier just to go to the to grab some restaurant food, or it's easier to just to order something and have it show up. But my point is that you still have to be willing to put in the effort, whatever it is. So you still have to go buy groceries. You still have to cook that food. You still have to eat it, right? So there are still things that you have to do regardless. And I feel like that's important to mention. And every time I jump on a call with someone, I tell them the same thing. I say, we can show you how to be more efficient. We can show you how to save money. We can show you how to help you prep food for you and your family. But you still have to be willing to put in the work. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't sign up, because you're not going to see the results by not putting the work in. And that's all there is to it. And then, okay, my last tip here is the accountability. So I talked about, so these are all the step-by-step process, right? So I'll just run over it real quick. So you have a conversation with someone to see if they have what you want, exactly what you want. Then you decide, like help someone decide. That's a phone call, probably not. Like it's so much clearer to have someone talk. I know people are like so scared because of hard sales, or they're like really awkward to talk to someone or look at someone. Like it's a crazy world we live in now, right? Communication is such a challenge. Like most people want to offer a thumbs up as a response. Like that's a proper way to communicate. But so you need to have a conversation with someone, especially if you're going to invest and make a big change in your life, to see improvements. And the bigger change that you want to see, the bigger adjustments you need to make. If you're willing to make this small of an adjustment in your life, you're going to see this small results. So if you need to do a complete overhaul and change a lot of things in your life because you went to the doctor and your world feels like upside down now, from medication to depression, overweight, diabetes, whatever it is, you're terrified now because of your life's decisions. We need to make bigger changes in your life, so you have to be willing to do that, right? So you have a conversation with someone to see if they can help you make a decision if this is the right fit for you. The next is a financial investment. Free does not work, especially in this world. So you put a financial investment down and then things get started, right? You need to be willing to work out on a regular basis. We say 3 times a week minimum. Then you need to follow a meal plan. Okay, from there, we're looking at accountability. You need someone there, like that support that I talked about at the beginning. You need to have some type of support structure. Doing it on your own doesn't work, just as much as not investing in anything doesn't work. You need to have a supportive community of people checking in on you, whether that's a coach or mentor. You need to check in with a group to let you know you got your workouts in, that you got a goal. Like we have a group coaching call once a week. So whoever's available jumps on line. We pick a topic. We start with wins or gratefulness. We pick a topic and we do a training session for about a half hour or 20 minutes. And then we end with a Q&A. It's only 45 minutes once a week. It's a great time to get people together, answer questions, ask questions, get to know one another a bit. So that's the community being built. And if you don't have that, you feel very isolated and very alone. So with whatever you're looking for, whatever process that you're looking for or hoping for, it should involve some type of community, some type of accountability and support. Like we offer coaching calls, and we also offer the group calls, and then messaging. Like, hey, not sure what to do about these groceries. Not sure what to do about this meal prep. What do I do about this fitness exercise? How do I exchange it? For you, like a lot of times programs they'll be like, here, take this program, you're off on your own. Good luck, right? I've heard from so many people that say, I signed up for a program, never heard from the person who sold it to me, never saw the owner after that. It was just like, here you go, promised the world, never seen it, right? But you have to be willing to show up, right? Like we have the group coaching calls. You have to be willing to show up. We can't make people show up for them. If you want to get the most out of the program, you find a way to show up to them. It's the same thing with your coaching calls. Sometimes we have people that cancel their coaching calls and like, I got busy. Like that's not going to get you the most results, right? You may as well not have signed up in the beginning if you're not going to commit to them. And it's the same thing with work. If you're not going to do your workouts, what are you doing? Like you have to, my point is here is that you have to be willing to put in the work, because it doesn't matter how good a program is. You could have the best program in the world, and if you're not willing to go through the step-by-step process, you may as well not have a program, because nothing's going to work. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we will see you another time. Bye, guys.
True Form Life.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our True Form Life community. You can always find us on facebook.com/trueformlife. We post up there a couple times a day on our story. We're always trying to bring you more content around living a healthy lifestyle, whether that be nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. We also have free challenges that we do at least once a month. So if you follow us along there, you'll be able to join maybe a plank challenge or a squat challenge, Tabata challenge, whatever it may be. We'd love to have you join us. We're also on Instagram.com/DrewTadia. Again, we're posting up there a couple times a day along with our story, all dedicated to keeping you fit and healthy and on track. Our main website is trueformlife.com. If you want to check out some of our products, some of our services, or if you just want some great content from videos to blog posts and recipes and more, we got all that at trueformlife.com. Once again, thank you so much for being here. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with True Form Life's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Tadia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.